Hey everybody, it's day 9 of our 12 days of Solstice, and we're going to leave from Oxford today and go and see some sights around the west of England. Unfortunately, where we're going to, there weren't many airfields or airports near there, so it's quite a slog to the first place, and then from the first couple of places to the third place is another really long slog, like 40 miles, 30 miles. So there's going to be lots of interruptions in this, which is probably good for you and not so good for me, because once again I've got to fly it myself. So it's a long way. So we're back in the Gwynbowl, and today we are white. Yay! Running out of colours now. I only had 10 or something. So I'll quickly get things underway. Whilst you're starting up, we're going to have a look what we're doing today. So this is it, we're on day 9. So we're going to go Dragon Hill, Uffington for two things. They're both in Uffington. That's Uffington's famous for something else that I'll show you when we get. Then we've got a long hike down to Windmill Hill, Kennet Avenue, Silbury Hill, and then again to Kennet, the Sanctuary, and then finally Avebury. Most people know Avebury. Most people will know the thing at Uffington. A lot of people will know Silbury Hill. What you might not realise is things like Dragon Hill was the hill that was used in Kate Bush's cloud bursting video. I can't remember, was her and some famous actor, I can't remember, Donald Sutherland, was it? Pretty sure it's something like that. And then this weird machine, and then all I remember is it looked really windy where they worked. But anyway, beside that, that's another matter. We're here to look at things much older than that. So we're going to leave Oxford. I know Oxford's quite the biggest hike actually, down to Uffington, and then hike over to that, and they're all close together. We'll be flying over some of them to look at the other ones, which is going to be a bit of a weird thing. There's so many things down there to look at though, it's pretty well worth it. So we're here at, I think we're at 6. We're going to leave from here. Dragon Hill, like I say, it's a little breast-shaped lump on the side of a hill. And Kate Bush, and I'm pretty sure it was Donald Sutherland, running around it, getting blown around, and I think he was wearing like a Doctor Who long coat and a weird hat, like one of those brown tweed hats. That's all I can remember of it. And yeah, so that was filmed around there, literally around there, around the hill. Then we've got Uffington Castle, which is a fort, which you can. Then we go off to Windmill Hill. Then down to West Kennet Avenue, which is a row of stones. Then Silbury Hill, which is quite a famous one. West Kennet Long Barrow. The Sanctuary, which is a cluster of bits and pieces, which we'll see when we get there. And then Avebury. So, let's get underway. I'm still getting annoyed by this because there's no scale on it, so you don't know how far a thing is. So it's a bit Mickey Mouse, that is, to be honest. A map is no good without a scale. I was taught that when I was 14, and it's so very true. Most things are useless without a scale. Otherwise, you end up with Spinal Tap and their version of Stonehenge. If you're young and don't know what that is, go look it up. There you go. So, we're leaving from Oxford. Off we go.
You are not clear to take off.
So we've got quite a way to go, so we'll see when we get. Be nice if they even gave me a distance to waypoint. There's just nothing. Well, there's a couple of hills, so maybe that's what it is. Let's hope it is that over there. Yeah, it's not quite like the picture, but I guess maybe that is it. I don't know, I'm not sure anymore what's going on. I mean, it does have a white spot on top and a path going up. So I think that must be what it thinks is the right hill. And there's the thing that I said you'd recognise, or you might know, most people are going to know. And that's the white horse. So let's take a landing and have a look around. Or let's have a landing and take a look around, whichever way around you. Even trying to find a flat spot's going to be difficult, isn't it? Okay, let's have a quick look around. Yeah, so that's obviously very low resolution on the old sat-nav stuff. Sat-nav? On the old satellite from Bing. I guess we could say that it's probably only registering heights of about 5-10 metres. Because that's not like that. That's almost flat. So maybe 10 metre mesh or something. And then the most famous thing, I guess, is the white horse up there. The Uffington White Horse. Very horse-like, even if it does have some trees growing through its legs at the front, which it shouldn't have. So this is the first things we're looking at here. That's Dragon Hill there, where we landed. And then Uffington Castle is up here, just past the White Horse. So this is Uffington Castle here. Why is that there? I have no idea. So we don't have too many pictures. I'll find some good pictures and put them in post. 3.2 hectares or 7.9 acres. I've got no idea how big that is. None whatsoever. I mean, meters, feet, yards, fine, but hectares and acres. What's a hectare? I'll have to look that up now. It's just embarrassing. So, turns out it's 100 by 100 metres. So, 3 lots of 100 square metres bits of land. So this is that. Not much really to look at, but you know, it's a hill fort. So that's the first. Now we're going to go and look at Windmill Hill. Like I said, that's quite a slog to Windmill Hill. It's further, almost as far as it is from Oxford to here. So there will be a slight break in transmission. I hate taking off on the side of a hill. That's why I always try and land so that the hill's in front of us, and then the slope is going down and away from behind us. This time I landed at a funny angle, so this grass doesn't help. I mean, you can never tell how long it is or how deep it is or what's underneath it. And like we found yesterday, sometimes it's floating 6 feet in the air. I'll see you in a little while. So we're getting close to our next destination. I don't see anything noticeable down there, so I'm hoping it's not covered in trees again. Yeah, so north is directly out the window this side. So technically that should be north. And that should be west. So west would be looking that way. Yeah, that's got to be it. Two next to each other, one with a line through. And then another one over there, which I think is in the trees. Oh, it's that, what that little white thing down there is. So let's go and land and have a look. Well, wow. So that's an amazing barrow on top of the hill there. It's not sheep on top of it, is it? It's a bit smaller, but for a flightsman to pick it up, that's pretty. It could be chalk, it could be anything. But yeah, we've got quite a few barrows up here. Barrow-tastic. It's a bit shame people just walking straight across the top of it, but I guess, you know. Can't really stop them, can you? Unless you shoot them. That's a bit illegal. Well, that was well worth a look, I must say. So let's carry on. Just very aware of those trees next to us. Don't want to land in them. Okay, so this is the avenue, West Kennet Avenue. So of course there's no stones there, but we can just see the marks where the stones owned the shadows cast when they took the satellite photo. So we'll go down the other end and work our way back up. Was that photographs of cars or tree shadows? Interesting. So of course the overlying theory is that these are all part of the Stonehenge complex, as it's being called. Or it could be two separate complexes, one from one time and one from another time. we'll never know, apart from radiocarbon dating, which gives us a rough idea of what's going on. But this avenue, as you can see, people just really cut a road through it, although they didn't just like go, oh, we'll just put a road there. It was probably, you know, a track that was used by people for many years, and then it's got turned into a road. But it does sort of go through the middle of it a bit-ish. So it's whether or not it's straight, which is the interesting thing. As we found out with the big works, the other place, where the 3 circles were, that's offset in the middle, and they were saying, oh, it looks like a Brown's belt, but it is a case of they aren't straight all the time. And this one looks like it has a kink as well. So these are all the stones as we go along. Then it goes slightly to the right, which is exactly the same as it was in the other place. But then it curves miles over to the left. No idea why. So we've got to ask ourselves, why does it curve like that? Why? And it's right at the very end as well, so maybe there were more of them. Maybe there was another set over this side that's been moved because of fields from farming. It does appear to just stop there, so maybe there was something in the middle that's been obscured by the road and the track and the path. As you can see, it comes up and then curves around, and then there's a big loop and curves around here. Very interesting nonetheless. It's just there's any more of it up there. I don't think there is. No, there's nothing more of it. Well, apart from maybe that stone there. So I imagine it was going straight in, because this is, of course, is one of the ditches at Avebury. So that's a massive stone circle. I mean, possibly bigger than Stonehenge if you take all its outer extremities. But let's persevere. This was West Kennet West Kennet Avenue. I do apologise. So 2200 BC. Beaker burials beneath some of them. Okay. So this leads into Avebury and another one leads west. So I believe this is the south. Ah, there are concrete pillars marking original stones. Okay. It wasn't this one. So that's where we go next. Silbury Hill. It's just around the corner, literally. So we should see the hill as we start to take off, to be honest. There she blows, with a solitary tree on top. terrible. This grass is a bit deeper than I thought it was. So there's the hill. Let's go and have a look. So as you can see, there's a large embankment that runs around the edge, and then the hill itself in the middle. Also appears to be a little mound on top with a circle around it, so interesting as to what it might be. I mean, there are claims that it's used for sighting for something. So if we pretend to be on top of it, we can't even, I don't think we can sort of see across there, so maybe it's just being used to sight across the top of this mound here. Which would make sense, I guess. But also, you'll be able to see it from all the way over there as well. But I guess that'll all become more clear as we're looking towards Stonehenge and working out what's going on there. So this is Silbury Hill. Not Salisbury Hill. And it's interesting because this is almost as high, so if that's high there, why build another high thing here in between that high thing and that high thing? And of course we have the river going down there as well. Very interesting. So that looks like another barrow down there. Maybe it's, well, maybe that's where they burnt the Wicker Man. So that's Avebury there. It's too many trees, of course, but that's the big massive circle at Avebury. I think, anyway, as we came over that little lumpy thing. Tallest prehistoric man-made mound in Europe. One of the largest in the world. Oh, the Romans again. They stole it. I'll have to look up that as well, I guess. Oh, comparing it to the pyramids, aren't they? Okay. Not the classic Giza pyramids, the other early pyramids. The more flat ones. Okay, so West Kennet Longbarrow next. This should be a good one. I'm looking forward to this. Lots of artifacts. So there's this one, which is the long barrow, and then there's a little tiny thing called the bell barrow down the bottom, but it's got a square on it, so I don't know if it's been ploughed out. We'll see when we get. So the next one is quite close as well. It's just another few hundred meters over that one. Microsoft Flight Sim, excellent. So once again, loads of trees. We get the idea. I don't know, a lot of these seem to be false entrances. But it should look like that. I see there's no trees on it. Hill and Neolithic, okay. Okay, I'll try and get some pictures for you. And then the sanctuary we're going to go to next, but first of all we're going to look at this bell barrow, which is, I believe, just down the hill from where we landed. Yeah, it's been ploughed out, it looks like. Or at least in this resolution it's been ploughed out as good as. So this one's smoothed out our curve for us. So here we go, lots of barrows. So this one is a sanctuary, and these are the barrows. That's where we just landed. As you can see, there's like 6 trees along that bit of path. And there's 75 according to flights. It does just throw them in where it wants and just doesn't really pay much attention to what really is going on. And there was a thing where people said that frame rates were suffering, so they made the trees bigger so they didn't have to have as many. Just stop putting them where they shouldn't be. That cut down about 80% of the trees. Anyway, here we are. This is a sanctuary. Not quite as well formed on this satellite image as it is on this picture. And we've got a barrow down there as well. And there's Silbury Hill again. And Avebury over there somewhere. Is it that bit? And all these barrows. And they all do seem very close to the river, so it wouldn't surprise me if the floodplain extends to about here, and then these are built just off the floodplain where people were living, basically. So across the top of this hill, and then we'll be into Avebury. So it looks like the big stone circle at Avebury was between the hills, but at the end of the river. I do wonder if that's got any significance. Looks like there's another barrow down there below us, or something. And here we come into Avebury. It is hard to understand the significance and amount of effort that went into making that ditch and that embankment. Because if you think about it, from Offers Dyke, the idea was that you dug the ditch, piled the earth up to keep people out. This would imply that it's keeping people in, because the ditch and the bank are pointing towards the centre of the circle. So this looks like it's keeping people in the circle rather than keeping them out of the circle. Unless there's another ditch. I don't know if there probably isn't, but let's have a look. No, yeah, that's just on that one side. But I mean, also it looks very flat in the middle, so maybe a lot of that earth is just spoiled from when they've tried to flatten the top off. So one big circle all the way around the edge, and then some smaller ones and standing stones. You can see the helicopter there, that's tiny, so that's a massive circle. So if it was full of people, there'd be 3,000 or 4,000 people in there, I guess. Just enough for a Neolithic rock concert. I said rock because that's a joke, because yeah, stone axes and stuff. So there's Silbury Hill. The barrow is over there. I think the avenue's down there. I think, is that where the avenue was? Or maybe it was down there, I can't remember. Oh no, there's the avenue, sorry, I do apologize. The avenue's down there. Silbury Hill's over there. So some sort of procession along that top. It's like it's the most level land between the tops of those hills, down towards the river. And then the river has this big mound next to it. I can almost imagine the druids sitting on top of it with a big bonfire and everyone around it gathered around while they had boat races or something. I don't know what they were doing up there. Maybe they used the river to stop something. Maybe they had hunting competitions or slaughtering pig competitions or something like that. I have no idea. We never will, really. The Romans have got some in a record, but the Romans didn't go around quizzing people of what happened 1,000 years before, because no one would have probably known. It's a shame, because that's a really large amount of lost history. If only we discovered how to write things down on clay tablets like the cuneiform people. But I guess there wasn't really a need for it. But the whole of this area is saturated with barrows and circles and avenues and pathways and all sorts of stuff. As always, there'll be links down below. I'm not going to go into Avebury too much. Oh, this will be a 3-hour long video. 3rd millennium BC. So 3,000 years before Christ. Before the other one, whatever it is that they use, BE. But not BP. Avebury World Heritage Site. Wow, 23 square kilometres. Wow. Environment changed. Okay. So we chopped all the trees down basically, and all the charts had to come through. Dense oak woodland, which receded and was replaced by grassland. Yeah, we chopped them all down. Yeah, don't put BP in, just stick to one. Oh, for God's sake. Yes, I'm on a rant again. So I'll give you the wiki links below. You can go and read about it yourself and follow all the wiki links down a rabbit hole of Neolithic and Bronze Age. And that concludes our trip for today. And the wonderful Avebury circles. Look, there's a photograph of a lorry there. It's probably, oh, it might be a tractor with a trailer. It's more, yeah, it probably is more likely to be a tractor and trailer.